Welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome to the very first trophy of 2023. Xavi has a massive opportunity to land his first as the Barça coach, and this feels like a real chance. Standing in our way though at the semi-final stage are Real Betis, who are serious opposition, quality team there, and this is going to be a serious test. And coming up in today's video, we're going to be talking all about Xavi's potential lineup as he welcomes back Robert Lewandowski. He's available, and coming up today too, we've got transfer news, big transfer news surrounding Memphis Depay and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. It's all coming up for you. It is going to be exciting. So let's do it. Because indeed, guys, the Super Cup semi-final is coming to us at 8 p.m. Barcelona time on Thursday, but it's actually 10 p.m. local time there. The game coming live from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. And this right here is how the schedule looks for the Super Cup. On Wednesday, we've got Real Madrid facing off against Valencia. Barça then playing Betis on Thursday. The final will be on Sunday, and that's significant there because it means if we get there, we have got one less day rest. But this really is a big game, I feel, for Barça and especially for Xavi. I'd argue here actually that it's one of our most important games of the season so far, and it's not so much here about, oh, we desperately want to win the Super Cup. You know, it's not the most prestigious trophy ever, but I think it's more about what that trophy would mean, what it would signify for Xavi Hernandez's team here at this stage of the season, wrapping up a title in January, getting his first as the Barça coach, the boost that would give everyone, the confidence there that would be flowing after securing that win. And that's why it's so important here that in Thursday's semi-final, we're playing a good team. They're fourth in La Liga, Real Betis. They're a really good side. And over the last year or so, they've caused us problems several times. It's a must-win game. It's a tough one, but we have to come out on top to keep this title alive. Now, along with all of the glory and the prestige that any title will bring, as is often the case with football nowadays, there is also, though, a financial element to all of this Super Cup stuff, because Barça will gain their €2.8 million just for participating in this year's Super Cup in Saudi Arabia, and there will be a further €2 million up for grabs if we can win this tournament, or even an extra €1 million for reaching the final, which in Barca's financial situation, every single million is gladly received, so we will be out here to go all of the way, especially now that Barca have actually been ordered by the court to pay Matheus Fernandes. Remember him, the Brazilian there, who literally never really played for Barca? We have been ordered to pay him €8.5 million after the court ruled that it was an unfair dismissal. Barca there terminated his contract after a dismal spell at the club where, like I say, he barely played after Bartomeu had signed this man for €10 million. Yes, 10 million, the total package for that deal. He was on pretty significant wages too, and he played 17 minutes of football. Even now, Bartomeu's decisions keep hurting us. They keep hitting us where it really hurts. But speaking there of transfer news, if we do move on now to the big story that has been surrounding Memphis Depay and Barcelona, because it emerged just yesterday that Atletico Madrid, they want to sign Memphis on loan there until the end of the season. The two clubs there are actively speaking right now. There has also been contact with the player ahead of a move in this January transfer window. Now, Barca at this point would be interested in loaning out Memphis there for what would be the remainder of his contract. Let's not forget, he will walk away in the summer for free. That seemed almost guaranteed to happen, but Barca would be interested in this deal for two reasons. Number one, they would gladly remove his wages from the wage bill there. Given that he's not in Xavi's plans, he's hardly been playing recently, it doesn't look like there's any future there at all for Memphis, so to move those wages on there for the final sort of 6 months of the season, that would be appreciated and money saved for Barca. But also number two, if they were to let this deal happen, if Barca were to loan him to Atletico, they would want financial compensation from Atleti. Now, I'm not only talking there about them paying his wages, but Barca would also want a loan fee. They would want a set amount there to be paid in order to get this loan move finalised, and that all makes sense in my book, because given that Atletico right now, they've just loaned out Joao Felix themselves on a very similar sort of deal, 6 months months it's going to be, and that there is worth 17 million euros with the fee and Joao Felix's wages. That is a 17 million euro package, and Felix has just extended his contract at Atleti, so he's going to be staying there long term. What a deal that is for Atleti there, to bring in that money for a 6-month loan, and he's coming back next season. And I think what's even more interesting about all of this, bringing that Joao Felix deal there, and speaking about Chelsea, is that they have signed Felix effectively to replace Aubameyang. That is extraordinary. Already they are looking to replace Aubameyang there. It has not worked out for him at all since he signed for Chelsea in the summer for 12 million euros plus Marcos Alonso, and given now that Aubameyang's relationship with Graham Potter, it is absolutely at breaking point. It is done. It is over. Now Aubameyang's even being linked with a return. If Barca are able to shift Memphis, move him on, remove his wages, maybe even then get a loan fee, would there be money to bring back Aubameyang? Now, we wouldn't be paying for him. I'm sure that would be a similar sort of deal there. Barca would be incredible business there to effectively sell him and then bring him back for basically nothing. And it does kind of check out right now, because if Chelsea are that desperate to move on Aubameyang, if he really isn't in their plans, they want rid of him, well, the only club in world football that he can join, it's Barca, because he's already played official games this season for 2 clubs already. He played 9 minutes in the opener of the season against Rayo. He's played for Chelsea. Under FIFA rules, he can't play for any more clubs. So Barca is the only place Aubameyang can go if Chelsea want rid of him. Watch this space. But if we do indeed refocus ourselves on the task in hand right now, this right here is the squad list from Barca to face Real Betis in the Super Cup. Robert Lewandowski is back in the squad. His ban will only apply to La Liga matches. He still has 2 games left on that suspension, but he can play in the Super Cup, and the same there applies to Ferran Torres. After his red against Atleti, he's been banned for 2 league games, but he's available here, and this 24-man squad will need to be cut to 22 players before kickoff. Interested to see there who the 2 players left out are gonna be. But if we do move on to talk about Xavi's potential lineup in this one, and of course looking at what we did against Atletico Madrid there with that very solid back line with the 4 midfielders and then 2 players on the attack who can be mobile, who can be getting behind, who can look at the spaces. It was a very interesting setup. We spoke obviously about what worked and what didn't. Now, what is Xavi gonna do in this one? Is he gonna stick with those fundamentals? Is he going to stick with that shape in this game? Now, for me, I would start the same back 4, because what I would like to see at Barca right now is to get some consistency going. I would like to see some repeat selections there, especially in defence. Let's get the partnerships going. Let's start here an unchanged back 4 and just let these 4 keep getting experience alongside each other. Such a strong defence that is. In midfield, I do sort of have an inkling right now that possibly he is going to stick with the 4. I think Busquets and Frenkie will remain there at the base. I think then ahead of them, Xavi and Pedri will start again. So we could see 4 in midfield once again. But there will be, of course, 1 change in attack. Lewandowski is going to come back in. Ansu Fati will make way. And what that will mean then is that we've got Lewandowski alongside Dembele centrally. I think that's a really exciting duo there. The 2 of them, you think about the game against Atleti, Dembele was very effective in that game. We did create a few chances, and if Lewandowski can then get on the end of those, that will be a really, really exciting thing to see with those creative players behind him, Lewandowski in this system. I'm excited to see how it works, and I think that on paper looks like a strong team, looks like a really good setup from Barca. But having said all that, I am starting to get worried about Rafinha and this whole situation, because yes, if this shape does work, if we've changed shape here and this is how we're going to play going forward, what does that mean for him right now? Because we have seen us spend massive money on him, just like we did on Ferran Torres, and we can't let this one slip away. We can't just accept right now that we're spending these massive amounts of money and that we're not getting the best out of these players, that we're not giving this signing a chance to be a success. So I do worry right now about Rafinha. But I do just wonder, guys, looking at the team that we're facing in Real Betis there, good quality right throughout their squad and plenty of good attacking players on their side too. Is this the way that you'd go? Would you line up again with those 4 midfield players, with that strong back 4, with Lewandowski and Dembele? Let me know there if you would stick with that formation that Xavi deployed against Atleti. And if we do move on to the predictions in this game, I think what is really important to see right now amongst Barcelona fans is that we're not really getting ahead of ourselves. We did beat Atletico. It was a good victory for us, a really important one, but I think we all recognise it was tight. It was close in that game there. I think many of you guys saying, okay, Barca can beat Betis, who I would say are on the same level as Atletico Madrid right now, but it's not going to be easy, and I just hope that we make it happen. And I think if we are going to win, let's do it in normal time, because if we're playing a day later there from Real Madrid and Valencia on the Thursday, finals on the Sunday, what we don't want here is extra time. Let's make sure here that we start the game well, play on the front foot, bring the intensity, and try and sustain that level. That's the key in this one. Start well and continue it for the duration, and let's see what we can do. I hope that we can get the win, because we really need to make an attack on this Super Cup trophy. Let me know all of your predictions in the comments down below for the game, for the score, for the lineup. What are you anticipating? And let me know your thoughts as well on all of that transfer news. Memphis out. Could Aubameyang be on his way in? I will see you soon, guys, of course, with all of the reaction from this one. Thank you indeed for your fantastic support. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.